I'm sorry if I'm asking this in the wrong place, but did my GF cheat? So my GF and I met each other in high school during my second year and her first. I'm half a year older than her and was in the next grade up. So we were friends for the first 3 years until COVID hit during my senior year and her junior year. After that we talked through Snapchat a lot and I said hey I realized the other day that I like you, but no pressure, I just wanted to let you know. A few weeks later, she asked me to come pick her up one night and we hung out, kissed a bit and talked. It's been almost 2 years since then and a couple weeks ago I found out that she slept with another guy during a break we had. It was after the first year of our relationship which was pretty rough when she said she wanted us to take a break and I assumed that meant a temporary break, but she was treating it like a breakup. It was a couple weeks after she initiated that break that she spent the night with another guy. I'm glad she told me, but she's trying to claim she didn't cheat since we were technically broken up even though I thought it was a break. Edit. I do realize that it seems obvious that the only reason someone wants a break is to fuck another person, but a part of me wonders if she just didn't know how to break up with me since I do take this stuff hard and she didn't want to upset me. So I do wonder if she really had moved on and didn't think we were getting back together. The thing is, I also struggle mentally with depression and anxiety, so a part of me is wondering if my mental issues are making a bigger deal of the situation than it really is. She did say that it was that one night and the guy was only in town for the week for his job. She said she regretted it and that she doesn't look back fondly on the night. But at the end of the day, she did allow him to be intimate and even fucking finish inside, which makes me sick to think about. After the break we got back together, but that was a while ago and as I said, she only told me about this incident that happened during the break, a few weeks ago. I can't stop thinking about it, all the little details and everything she could have enjoyed about it. Am I blowing this out of proportion? I feel like I'm losing my mind because I feel like we were meant to be with only each other and we agreed on that, but now I don't know what to believe. Edit. Rereading this, I realize that things seem pretty black and white with her being awful and me being the victim. The thing is, it was kind of a Walter and Skylar situation, except I wasn't cooking meth. But I was struggling mentally and wasn't always able to be the guy I should have for this girl. Please understand that I'm just trying to be fair and honest about the situation. I'm looking for clarity, not for pity. That being said, I genuinely appreciate the input and all the replies very much. When a woman says she wants to take a break, it's usually to try out a new relationship, if it doesn't work out she comes back, if it does she doesn't look back. Telling someone they're being cheated on when you're not close to them. So I had a guy that flatted with us for a bit who was long distance with his GF. He seemed to be very loyal and such at first, and eventually after not seeing her for 2 years due to COVID, he finally got over to her and was able to bring her back to our country and propose to her. They're due to get married next year. Thing is I found out through my partner that he's been sleeping around while she's been gone and pretty much his whole workplace knows about it. None of them want to tell her as they are closer with him than her and TBH, I don't feel like it should even be my place to tell her. At the same time I've been in this position of everyone else knowing my partner was cheating and no one wanting to tell me and I know how much that sucks. Any advice? Update. So as previously stated I'm not close with them so a lot of this is observation. I sent the message via FB through an anonymous account. Hi, it's come to my attention that your partner has cheated on you while you were separated. He has done this with multiple women, but the one I have confirmed is that he has slept with a best friend of his work colleagues. I'm sorry to say I have no solid evidence such as texts, but I know how it feels to have everyone behind your back talking about something so important and not bothering to talk to you. I'm sorry and wish you the best whatever you decide to do. Currently I've had no response from her, but both him and her have seemingly disappeared off any pictures together on their accounts. The weird thing is that his profile still says his relationship is engaged, while hers is now private. 6 years of on and off cheating. This was about 7 years ago now, but I dated someone for 6 years and after 4 years I found out that he was unfaithful. At this time I found out I was living at home and my parents graciously let him live with us as he didn't have anywhere to stay. He didn't pay any rent. After 4 years he wanted to take a break for the summer to figure things out. He came back and I ended up accepting him back. He moved out for this short period of time. He decided to go back to college and one day in at home on his computer that I have always used because I didn't have one and I had the sudden urge to go through things. Even though I've been using it for a long time before this. Come across Facebook chats with multiple women where there are sexual pictures being sent or sexual flirtatious messages happening. Along with Facebook there were videos with him and his roommate before living with me, but very much dating that I saw and just a whole bunch of other things. I started hating him but I financially carried him for many months before finding this out and he always agreed to pay me back but was shit with money. One day I had a talk with him and said that I should help him save, so I'll put away 100 of his money every pay into an account and I'll pay his bills for him and whatnot to get him back on track and give him allowance for food. He agreed, liking the help. I sure helped him, but that $100 bi-weekly was going into an account to pay me back. After a few months I came clean about knowing everything and gave him 2 weeks to move out. Told him I wanted nothing to do with him. He said it was all early in our relationship only, even though I saw more recent messages and will move out but still wanted to try with me. No thank you. Changed our locks, took my money that he owed me and only that, and moved on with my life. I was on Tinder, Bumble, etc. In college and living my best life. But he seemed to think we were still together but just fighting to stay together. No, I was fighting to leave you. Stop reaching out apologizing and saying you love me. This guy had the audacity to tell me I was cheating and all his friends saw me on Tinder, that I stole money from him, I took what was rightfully mine, I always said it was a loan and tracked everything I gave him, blah blah blah. Like what? Well, fast forward to now I am happily married and with a child to literally my soulmate. And I still hear the same stories as he plays victim. Lol. Sad life this guy must be living, but I have moved on. I am only posting this because he recently saw my husband and told him to say hi to me. My husband laughed about how sad and childish this man was. I traumatized myself. So my boyfriend of a year was giving me sneaky unfaithful cheater vibes. He would delete everything on his phone, delete call logs, I'd see him comment on girls' photos, and sometimes had look like Hess going out on a date. When I confronted him he'd say I have trust issues and am overly paranoid and am gonna manifest that stuff happening. Irlite tried to make me believe that, but I just cold because I had a really bad feeling and for some reason I rather would have tested him then rather than just realize and deciding it won't work out for us. So I regret it, but I put a tile locator on his car. At this point I was also 2 months pregnant. One time he told me he was going to the gym, but I didn't believe him so I watched a tracker. And saw it go to a fancy restaurant, then I got suspicious and worried and followed him. It's crazy, but I actually called his phone 30 times he ignored it, then I finally after an hour see him making out with a brunette girl. Then I finally had my proof. He was a lying cheating manipulative asshole that I suspected. Even though I'm glad I know the truth I'm so sad. So it gets worse then I confront them which I also regret. I told her I'm his GF and I'm pregnant and I told him I knew he was cheating on me, I broke down in the parking lot and she left. She was traumatized obviously poor thing, and then he promised me I'm the love of his life and he wanted to be together and get married, etc. He told me he deleted her and just wants to be with me and unfortunately I believed him. But a day later I see in his car screen that they are still in communication. He didn't see in time that I saw that, but I saw him delete his call logs with her a minute later, so I got her number from the contacts tab in the car and called her. She told me he convinced her that I'm a psycho stalker and he still wants to see her. She believed him. So I confronted him and said I'm moving on and tried to end it. I waited for my Uber outside. Instead of letting me leave he aggressively steals my phone. I screamed in the middle of street in the middle of the night help many times. I was terrified of him and felt I did desperately need help. Neighbors came out worried and he said if I don't get in the car he's gonna drive off with my phone so I got in the car, then he drove 140 miles per hour and said I'm gonna kill us, both you called me thief and invaded my privacy, you deserve to die you fucking slut, then he hit me and slammed my hands into the center console. I had never seen this side of him. I was in shock and cold and calm him down he was screaming as loud as he could. We arrive at my house, he kicked me out of the car and won't give me my phone, then I run upstairs phoneless. He drives away I use my computer to videochat my cousin to help and she is on her way immediately, then I hear him come up my stairs and bangs on my door and yells open the fucking door or I'm gonna bang it down. I kept it shut and ignored him. He left and came back 3x to do this aggressively, then finally threw my phone at my door and gave up and left, then my cousin showed up and found my phone. Then we decided to get a restraining order. He went on vacation, so he never got served the restraining order. Then I get a call from him on a random number. He's apologizing and see Hess at my door with flowers. I was terrified, but I told him it's over and to respect a restraining order. He flipped his mood from sweet apologetic to angry vengeful asshole and said Hess gonna get a restraining order on me. I wish this didn't happen. I am really hurting. I think I have PTSD and not sure how to calm down or feel normal again. It's really hard for me to be alone now. Every time I see the car he has I panic and every time I see a brunette girl turned away from me, I almost throw up. I think of this every second etc. Oh, this video has come to an end. If you want more such cool stories, then go to one of the many following videos.